Just a few years ago, there was a sneaky killer lurking through the streets, taking the lives of countless people. This killer was measles. In 1980, measles resulted in an estimated 2.6 million deaths globally. However, this number dropped by a whopping 79% in 2015. Who do we have to thank for this? Vaccinations. This video is for Erica from Houston, Texas. Erica asked, "My mom wants me to go to the doctor to get a vaccine, but it takes so much work to go to the doctor and wait in line. Do I really need a vaccine?" The first successful use of vaccines was in 1796 by physician and scientist Edward Jenner. Jenner used cowpox material to create the world's first vaccine, which was able to eradicate the smallpox epidemic. Over time, vaccinations were developed to prevent sickness from hundreds of different types of viruses. Although children across the US are required to receive vaccinations to attend school, not all people outside of school get a vaccination. Certain vaccines, such as measles, mumps, and rubella vaccines, must be received by all people, according to the Center for Disease Control. Although the CDC states that everyone should be vaccinated for the seasonal flu, this vaccine isn't absolutely necessary, and only around 40% of American adults actually get vaccinated for the flu each season. So the question is, should we really get a flu vaccination every year? To answer this, first we have to understand how vaccines work. The fundamental idea behind vaccinations is introducing the body to a weakened form of the virus in order to allow the body to acquire immunity to the virus. A vaccination basically contains a small amount of a certain virus, either live or dead. As the virus enters the body works to create cells that will track down and destroy these viruses. However, once the virus is destroyed, the body keeps a memory of the virus and adds it to its body's database of viruses. This way, if the virus were to enter the body in the future, the body could easily figure out how to defeat the virus by checking its database. Now, you might be thinking, why would I want to put a virus in my body? Although the vaccine does contain a virus, it is a form that the body can easily defeat and will result in a small fever at most. Better, a small fever from a vaccine than being hospitalized if you were to encounter the live virus in the real world. It's clear that vaccines are very beneficial in keeping us safe and protected. However, you might be wondering why you need a new vaccine for the flu every year. The reason behind this is that flu viruses are always changing. Because of their short lifespan and genetic makeup, viruses rapidly undergo a process known as mutation. Mutation is when some aspect of the virus is altered. Often, this results in the virus no longer being recognized by the body. So if the body has no memory in its database of viruses, we need a completely new vaccine. Scientists study viruses every year to determine the newest types of viruses. Once they have determined the new virus, they will develop a vaccine that will help us fight it once it comes around. Although vaccines are beneficial, according to the CDC, not all Americans actually go to get a seasonal flu vaccine every year. A study done by the National Public Radio cited that 48% of Americans claimed they simply did not need it. Although it is true that many people do not get a flu vaccine and still don't get sick, a vaccine is a good backup in case you were exposed to a virus. Another 16% claimed that they did not get vaccines because of the side effects. However, studies have shown that vaccines have very little side effects. There is also a common misconception that vaccines result in autism. However, there is no scientific evidence supporting this claim. Plus, vaccines are extremely cheap for Americans, with 78% stating that they paid absolutely nothing to receive theirs. Vaccines have prevented thousands, if not millions of deaths that could have been caused by dangerous viruses. They have little to no side effect and are extremely cheap. Although a lot of Americans do not get their flu shots every year, vaccines are an obvious way to protect us from viruses that could keep us in bed for weeks, or even worse, in the hospital. So, Erica, I hope that answers your question for you. And while I can't make any medical recommendations, I'll let the CDC have the last word. It is always better to prevent a disease than to treat it after it occurs. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it. And as always, if you have any science topics or questions that you'd like to see in one of our upcoming NISI videos, let us know in the comments below. We post a new video every week, so don't forget to click subscribe and keep on learning with us.